Hello, my name is Maria Jose. I am a student from Universidad Estatal of Costa Rica. I am taking this intercultural communication course for my English career, and I wanted to know if I may interview you today. Today is Thursday, June 11th, 2026, and it would be about 6 minutes that I will record properly to report it for my course purposes only. Are you okay with it?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much. Cecilia, could you please tell me your full name?
My name is Cecilia Bennett.
Nice to meet you, Cecilia. Where are you from originally?
I am from United States, specifically Ohio.
How old are you, if you feel comfortable?
I'm 38 years old.
What do you do? For example, do you work, study, or both?
I work in marketing.
Now, I would like to ask you about your experience living here in Costa Rica. How long have you lived in Costa Rica?
I have lived in Costa Rica for 7 years.
What was your first impression when you arrived here?
My first impression was that it is so beautiful. I love the nature and the people.
That's very nice to hear. I know that Costa Rica is known for its nature, so I understand why that would stood out for you. And was it easy or was it difficult to adapt to our culture, and why?
It was not very difficult because I had taken some Spanish courses in high school. I also researched a little bit about the area and about, general stuff beforehand.
That's a great approach, actually. What cultural difference surprised you the most when you arrived here?
The difference that surprised me the most was a lot of people left their door open of the house so that the air would come in. And since many of them didn't have AC,
Yes, that's actually very common because, here it's very hot and, most people will leave the door open. Let's talk a little bit about daily practices. What difference have you noticed in people's, daily routines versus where you lived, such as greetings, for example?
A lot of people, I've noticed, make it a habit of visiting the farmer's market on Friday. And they usually greet each other with a kiss on the cheek, which is something we don't do. And it's a common practice here.
That's very interesting. And, what about food? Have you noticed any differences in, for example, eating habits?
Yes, I've noticed that ticos include a lot of rice and beans in their diet. And, they're part of every meal.
Yes.
Every meal.
Yes, we sure do. And now I would like to ask you about, beliefs and values. Have you noticed differences in what people value, for example, such as family or work, community here versus the USA?
Yes, I've noticed that people value family time. They make it a habit to visit each other on weekends. They also attend many local events. In Ohio, people don't really keep to themselves a lot, and I consider them workaholics.
That's very interesting. And, what about, or what has been the most positive part of living in Costa Rica?
I think the most positive part for me is definitely having access to fresh, organic food. It's a plus, definitely.
And what has been the most challenging part of living in Costa Rica?
The most challenging part, I must say, is getting used to the amount of rain we have and the humidity, like you can tell from all the sweat.
Yes, definitely. As a future English teacher, I think, intercultural communication is very important. So, in your opinion, why is it important to respect and understand other cultures? Or is it important?
Definitely. It's important because you are able to adapt and feel more connected with others when you understand culture. So, for sure, this will be something.
And lastly, what would it be some advice you would have to give to someone that's going to go live in another country?
I would say to definitely familiarize yourself with the culture, the language, traditions, look up living costs, access to medical, dental, anything that you already have access to, so that you don't have to change a lot your lifestyle. Making sure that it is an easy transition to interact with the local people, so that you get to learn some basic words or phrases beforehand can really help. And also, it shows respect for the culture that you're trying to include or be a part of. I definitely recommend being open-minded and patient, because it is a totally new, and you'll have to, patience is definitely a big one. A lot of times, many things will be very confusing at first. They won't make sense. But as you learn and respectfully and willingly show interest in finding out a little more and experiencing, it's going to be very positive and enriching for sure.
Thank you very much for that great advice. And finally, do you have any questions for me?
I have no questions for you. Thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your experiences with me, for your answers, and they will be very helpful for my course.
I hope you do great.
Thank you.